Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ruby, this is Ruby Red, and today is the beginning of a vlog, right? Okay, it's Squash That Series, which if you don't know, it's a readathon hosted by Kayla and Bailey, two of my friends here on BookTube. It's about completing your series, and this round is about 2 weeks long, and the focus is kind of on getting your longer books read, which is sometimes not a priority during a readathon, but not this time. So I thought to myself, what would make this harder? I wanted to do a vlog for this, but I didn't want to do a really long one because that gets really intimidating to edit, and I just was like, I'm gonna drag my feet through that. But I was like, you know what? I've never done a 24 and 48 readathon, so let me try it for Squash That Series. So this weekend, I'm gonna try to read for 24 hours in a 48-hour window. And I'm honestly, I don't think that I will do it, but I am going to try. I am going to start today, Friday at 4 p.m., which is very soon, and I'm going to finish Sunday at 4 p.m. Because I have something to do Sunday night. But when I planned this, I didn't have anything to do Saturday, but now I do have something to do Saturday, and I have something to do tonight, so you can see how I'm like, am I going to be able to do this? No. It's fine, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna have fun. I'm going to track my progress over here, I think. And yeah, I'm just going to visually show you how much I've read and how many hours have passed. So I think the yellow ones will be hours that have elapsed since the start of this, and then the green ones are hours that I have spent reading. So they should remain pretty even throughout, so that I've read 24 dots within the time span of 48 dots. There's 48 dots here. Anyway. Anyway, what am I reading? Yeah. So my priorities for this, like I said, are going to be bigger books. I've already started a couple things. Madship is my main focus. And so yeah, I did read 258 pages of this before the readathon even started, but I'm still going to be reading well over 500 pages of this for the readathon, so I'm gonna get that 500 plus pages 200 point bonus for my team. I love that. So yeah, this one, making progress. This is the second book in the Live Ship Traders trilogy, and I love it so much. I'm already so obsessed. Okay, and then the other thing that I'm currently reading is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang, which is the final book in the Poppy War trilogy. So I can't say that much about what The Burning God is actually about, but I think I'm about 13% into that audiobook. I just started it today, and I'll be listening to that as I go about my life. And then, there's one more thing that I already started. Oh, Actor Age Eve Brown, because that is the final book in the Brown Sisters trilogy of romances. And I read the other two, and I'm gonna read Eve Brown, and I'm excited mostly about that. I think that's the only thing that I'll probably finish in this 48 hours because it's a very quick read. I mean, romances are very quick reads for me, so I think I'll be able to finish that. So yeah, that's kind of the lay of the land. Yeah, so I think that if you want to do well in these 24 and 48s, like you should have no plans, right? Because it's half your time. And you should also have some kind of strategy, but I really don't. I just have physical books and audiobooks, and I think that that combination somehow is gonna get me somewhere. So yeah. I'm gonna go back to my audiobook, and I'm finishing up a little bit of a work thing, and then I'm actually gonna go out to dinner tonight, so I won't be able to read that whole time, which is kind of annoying. But then tonight I'm gonna stay up late reading Madship, I think, because it's so juicy. It's so good. It is now 9 o'clock, so it's been 5 hours. I have read 1 hour and 20 minutes, which is not great, but it's what happened. Not off to a super strong start, but yeah, I had dinner plans. Me and Connor got sushi with Kayla and John, and now I'm back home and I'm reading. But yeah, that took a chunk of time out of my plans, but it was time well spent, time enjoyed. But yeah, I am reading right now Madship, which, what can I say about this without getting into spoilers of the first book. It's just, what's amazing about this series is how much is going on. Like, there are so many characters, so many perspectives, and even in this, like, so many new characters have been introduced, or like elements from the first book, Ship of Magic, different other like political or like governing bodies for other parts of this world were mentioned, and now some of them are having a much more page time, I guess, and we're getting to learn a lot more about them and the like backgrounds of some of the other like government stuff. The emperor, is he an emperor? And also there's more boats. We're getting more boat characters, which I love. And, you know, what was so fun in the first one was that we had all these characters who were like in turns flung so far across the land and also like smashing back together in a symphony. Honestly, it's just wild. It's such an amazingly crafted story to me. Like, I cannot imagine writing this. Yeah, so I'm having an amazing time, and I'm just gonna carry on, and I have so much more reading to do, so I gotta go. Okay, sorry, my sprinklers just went on, but I'm about to go to sleep. It's 11. You know, I had big dreams of like staying up late and reading all night. That's not happening. I'm tired. So it's 7 hours from the start of my readathon. I just wanted to say this one thing just before I go to sleep. And I have read for just over 2.5 hours. So the ratio is still not looking good, but that's fine. That's fine, and I have to go to sleep. Okay, so it is 3 o'clock on Saturday, so it's almost been 24 hours since I started this, and I have read just a hair under 8 hours out of that 24. So, I mean, that's still a lot, but it means that I am behind, I think. I mean, obviously the goal was to have read 12 hours within the first 24, and I might make it to 9 hours. So 3 hours behind is not the worst, but I do think I have plans later today. But I have been reading a lot today, and I'm loving Madship so much. Robin Hobb really gets in there, you know? And then mostly what I've actually been doing today is listening to The Burning God, which is the 3rd book in the Poppy War trilogy. I don't know if I said that already, but we're still following Rin, and it's still war. And it is hard to listen to, honestly. There is just a lot of every single thing that happens in that book is like the worst thing you can imagine. And then like something else happens and that's the worst thing you can imagine. So it's definitely not for the faint of heart. But I just appreciate how much the author like did not shy away from all of that, and especially like discussions and explorations of like war crimes versus crimes, and like, you know, sacrifice and justice versus revenge, versus closure, and it's all so messy and so horrible, but it's also like there's not a better way to do a lot of the stuff that they're doing. I just think that makes it really powerful, and that makes it really good, because, you know, if you were in their situation, like maybe you would have made a couple of different choices over time, but not really better ones. There aren't better ones. It's just like a huge mess. So yeah, loving that. I think I just passed the 30% mark for that book, so that's fantastic. I made some empanadas, kind of. They're filled with like a lentil curry, and then I made like a cucumber yogurt dipping sauce situation to go with them, while I was listening to my audiobook, and also watching some sprints, which was fun. And now I'm reading Actor Age Eve Brown, which is the 3rd book in the Brown Sisters trilogy by Talia Hibbert. So it's about Eve Brown. She's the youngest of 3 sisters. She's kind of a disaster, and she has to grow up basically and like get a job. And she stumbles upon a job working as a chef at this little bed and breakfast. And the guy who owns and runs the bed and breakfast, he's very uptight seeming. He's very, you know, together and neat and orderly. And then she's like a disaster kind of. So they're that like opposites attract kind of vibe. And they are attracted. And it's fine. I think I'm almost halfway through with that actually. I've been reading it yesterday a little bit too. It's fine. I'm just finding a lot of the dialogue and like her inner monologue to be so annoying. Like some of the dialogue, I'm just like, I just absolutely cannot imagine anyone actually saying these words, especially not these characters, the way that they've been created. Sometimes it comes off as like cartoonish, like a parody of like awkward people. Yeah, I'm not loving the characterization of each of the main characters, so that's tricky. But I do think I will still finish it. I think that me and Connor are meeting up with one of Connor's friends is in town kind of spontaneously, so we're gonna hang out with her for a little bit, and I obviously will be able to read while we do that. And I feel like we have something going on tomorrow, but I don't remember what. So, you know, was this like really the best time to do 24 and 48? Maybe not, but I am doing it. Okay, so it's Saturday night, it's 10 o'clock. I have just under 13 hours of reading left to complete my 24 and 48. You can see by the graphic here what that means for me, if that's even possible. And I have just about 18 hours left before my 48 hours is up. So that's the lay of the land. That's just where we're at. I'm not going to make any declarations about whether I will or will not be completing my challenge this weekend, but that's just where we're standing. The book stats are that I am 44% of the way through Ship of Magic, which I'm about to go back to. And I'm so excited because when I was reading it earlier, I was honestly laughing out loud, and I need that energy right now. I am 80% done with Actor Age Eve Brown. It's getting a little bit better, but I'm still not like obsessed. That's all. It's fine. It's fine. There are some things that give me like a little bit of the ick about their relationship and like some of the ways that their relationship developed. I don't really know how to say exactly what I'm thinking, but there were two specific instances that took place during and surrounding intimacy that I was like, not for me. But that's fine. And I'm either 30 or 40% done with the Burning Got. Okay, yeah, no, it's 40%. We did have some fun at the dog beach. I definitely cut into my reading time to do that, but it was really nice to see some friends. We had a good time, and I'm glad that I went, and I'm also glad that I'm home. And yeah, I'm gonna go back to Ship of Magic and then probably just save the rest of Eve Brown for tomorrow. And then I'll have finished my first book of my readathon, and I'll have finished at least one book in this block, which would feel nice. Okay, it is about 10 o'clock. I have about 9 hours left to complete my 24 hours of reading, but there are only 6 hours left in my 48-hour time span, so I'm definitely not going to be completing my challenge, but I have still read a lot, and this morning I actually reached the halfway point of Madship. It's thrilling me, and I actually finished Actor Age Eve Brown last night instead of saving it for today, so I did finish my first book of the readathon, so that's great. And I finished that series. I gave it 3 stars. It was fine. It just was not like the best to me, but I am glad to be finished with it. And also I just it was gonna be hard for me to let it go. Like, even though I was not having the best time of my life, I knew that I had to finish it because of how much I have heard that that's people's favorite. So I was like always gonna be like wondering if I didn't finish it. So I'm glad I finished it. Was not my favorite. Danny Brown was my favorite. And yeah, today, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna be reading while I do it. Okay, so it's 4 o'clock, which means that I'm done with my 48-hour period. And I read almost 17 hours. I was 8 minutes shy of hitting 17 out of 24 hours. So that's like pretty close for this being my first try, in my opinion. And for me having like plans throughout. Yeah, these are the braids that I slept in. I did have to run an errand today. I ran to pick up some of the pottery pieces that I made last month. And then I also have just been listening to my audiobook while I work on this quilt that I really, really wanted to finish by this point in time. So I'm very close to being done though. I have been making good progress on it recently. But just to give you like some of the stats on like how much I actually read in those 17 hours in the last 48 hours. I read 370 pages of Act Your Age, Eve Brown, and I read 48% of The Burning God. Like I listened to that much. So now I've reached 61% of The Burning God. But yeah, almost half of it I listened to in the last 2 days. And I read 168 pages of Madship, which leaves me also at the halfway point of Madship. So I'm feeling very good about all of that. This was a great way to make sure that I was like really reading, and also because I wanted to keep that timer running and listen to my audiobook while I was doing my quilting instead of putting on like a Netflix show, which would have been fine also, but I think that this has kind of pushed me to get back into audiobooks. Like I've been finding my rhythm again. So I'm feeling great, and I'm also feeling like I'm off to a very strong start for the Squash That Series round. I've only been able to submit 1 book so far and get those points for my team and from the other team, but I have made so much progress on all of my other books, on 2 of my other books, and so I feel like I'll definitely finish those, and then I'll have time for 1 more, probably, maybe even 2 more if I keep being on my audiobook game like this. So that's all really great, and I definitely want to do this challenge again. It just feels so good to spend so much time reading books that are also so good. Like Madship, the Live Ship Traders series is gonna be like one of my all-time favorites. I can smell it. And The Burning God is gonna be wrapping up this trilogy that has been like so big in my mind because it's so beloved, and it also is so much, and I love that. I love when a book is so much. So yeah, I'm fascinated, I'm upset, I'm afraid of what is gonna happen, but yeah, I'm just like, I'm loving that. And I can't wait to read whatever I'm gonna read next. So thank you so much for joining me on this little journey. I had fun, I hope you had fun too. I'm really glad you were here. Let me know in the comments what you've been reading, and don't forget to make sure that you are subscribed so that you don't miss my next video, which you can see next week right here on this channel. All right, thank you so much. Goodbye.